Hello, everyone. We're back. More Pokemon Heart Gold Rando. Now, we left off in Ecruteak. And we got some pretty good Pokemon last time. Namely, the Salamence. We also got a crazy Arceus, which... more so in the sense that it's, you know, kind of crazy that I predicted it, but it doesn't have multi-type, or the plate thing, after getting all those plates. But, I mean, it's the equivalent of God in Pokemon, so... I don't... I don't know what else we would need, but... yeah, we're still looking for one more slot. This shelter I'm going to deposit, because we are not going to use it. Just 1 minute. Okay. Get this out of the way. Did we do Can You Return? I'm just gonna wait till we get Fly later to check. I'm not going back. It's just too much of a pain in the ass, I think. So yeah, we're still looking for one more team member. The only, I think, other legendary I'd switch for is Giratina. But other than that... The reason I'm kind of meh about the Arceus, as great as it is because I want type coverage, and I really don't want to get rid of the Zangoose. So, I would like... let's see, what are we meant? Like an electric or grass type of some kind, maybe? Maybe even a rock type. But yeah, I definitely want an electric type, I feel like. I don't know, we'll see. It'll more so be a case of, you know, running into a Pokemon that I think is interesting, but we'll just have to see what happens. I'm pretty sure I talked to everybody here. So we're about to do a rival battle, actually. However, I will be registering the dowsing machine. Hold on. Because all of these items will be randomized. I had a feeling there was something here. They should be. I don't know if that's randomized. Oh, the speed... well, I can't run, so... the controls are weird. So forgive the speed up here, but I think it's... is that pointing... can you... okay, other side. Shoal Shell... okay, that's randomized. There's no way a Shoal Shell is there. Yeah, for some reason... I can't run while I do this. That's why I'm using the speed up. So just pretend I'm running. I don't know. Now, we could go all the way back and go all those areas. I'm unsure, though, as to whether or not I want to do that. I also think every time I'm in... what's that first town? Like the... no. Town before Azalea, the big one. I always feel like that's, where the light is that I gotta check. We didn't talk to him yet. So we could go over, well, I mean, we could go and do some stuff in Mount Mortar. Also, that is absolute fire. Again, we don't know who may or may not learn it, but that is huge. Yeah, I can't. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I can't run when I have the dowsing machine equipped. It's really strange. I don't know why that happens. So we can either... I think we can maybe do kimonos right now, or... because that's where we get surf. Or we could go to the left and fight some of those trainers to Olivine, or we could go north and fight the rival in Burn Tower. I think we need to do that to fight Morty, though. I may put off fighting Morty until we fought some of the trainers, I think would be the smartest idea. So I believe in this version, although that might be later. I don't know if that's right now. Well, we'll see in a minute. I don't want to say anything definitive. Yikes, this is a really bad... This is neutral? Yeah, that's like my only move I can use. This is actually, moveset-wise, is not a good matchup. Slightly walled by Scizor. Let's see if we get Surf here. Imposter. Bogus? Sus? Okay, so in the original, it was 5 fights, but we might be able to fight more coming back later. Possibly, I'm not too sure. Okay, well, Surf is a very good water move, regardless, so... It's like one of the only HMs I don't really particularly feel bad about teaching. It's like one of my mains. So, I mean, oh, it's 90 power. Oh, that's right. I think I changed... Was it always 90 power? I think I used a setting that put all the moves damage to modern generation standards, I think. Alright, so everybody can learn this. Who... Obviously, Lapras would be a good... I did say I was going to teach this to Lapras. I mean, I don't know. Lapras makes sense. This is... Ooh. Actually... I'm not teaching that to Lapras. Even with Stab, the special is so low. I'm not doing that. It's gonna be wait, I think the Arceus didn't actually have really good... Yeah, it didn't have good moves, really. Nasty Plot's really good, doesn't really matter. Let's teach Surf over. I know that's so cursed. I know everybody's like, dude, you taught Surf to fucking Arceus, but it's like... It's a good move. Like, legitimately. Here's a way we can figure out if... Hold on. I'm not using my controller today. Let me see if I can teach this. No, I can't. Is there any move I can teach? Let me see something. Actually, hold on. Let's not use a move that's good. Or decent. Let's teach it something ass. Do I have anything that's like trash? Flash. No, I only have one flash. Let's not do that. Roost. I'm not going to teach Roost to anybody. Can it learn Roost? Okay, let me test. Use this as a test. I was going to sell it anyway. Okay, no. I cannot teach over HM, so... That's fine. Alright. I had to test. Alright, so I think we're gonna go west first. Before we go anywhere else. I could go burned, but I don't think I want to do that right now. I mean, I can still give it, like, a normal... Like, do I have the... scarf? If I could get a good normal move, it would still be really good. I feel like they should add a normal plate, but it should just boost normal moves. Just feels weird not having a normal plate. I don't know. Should just work like Silk Scarf. That way there's just a normal plate. I guess I'll just give leftovers. I don't really have anything else I really feel like giving. Don't worry, I'm about to fight you with God. Don't worry. Trace Honey Gather, is that what that said? Yeah! Yeah! Booming chop! Forgot how slow leftovers is. Yeah! Palms of Thunder! If you don't know what game that's from, you're probably not old enough. Sadly. Sadly, that's a classic game. It could have given Lucky Egg, actually, speaking of that, Lucky Egg, and eggs. Yeah! Even Happiny gives experience, jeez. Could have used Surf, but whatever. I want to see how much that did. Just curious. Obviously, I think Arceus is a cool concept, but I'm gonna be really honest with everybody. I think for a Pokemon being a god, why did it have to be like a horse? Look, I'm not trying to, you know, crap on horse owners and everything, but I hate horses. I just don't like them. I don't know. Like my least favorite animal. I just don't like them. I don't know. I am not a horse person. And by extension, anything that'd be like giraffe or donkey or camel. Horse-like animals. Just don't really care for. I mean, even with farm animals, I mean, I don't really care for farm animals, I guess, minus chickens. Chickens are like the only thing that I like. The farms usually have. Not a dog person for cats. I mean, they'll have like barn cats, I guess. But I'm not a dog person either. Don't hate dogs, just don't care for them. I personally would not have a dog. I mean, to be honest, if I lived in my own house, I wouldn't probably have any animal that wasn't in an aquarium. You know? honest. It's not even about, like, I'd probably have, like, I used to take care of tarantulas, so... One I had lived at 20. It's pretty crazy. She was nice. And I don't care what anybody says. Oh, they don't have feelings. Oh, shut up. They do. I don't believe that at all. When people say they don't have feelings, it's just, it's bull. I don't know. So I want to look for wilds here. Also, I might sound tired. I literally am, somewhat... I don't want to say I'm, like, super sick, but I'm somewhat sick. I'm dealing with exhaustion. Also, I could have just done that. I don't know why I didn't just do that. Would have been so much easier. I forgot you could do that. I'm gonna say something that... I don't know, maybe people would disagree with, but... Buto all the way over Omanite. I'm sorry. I don't hate Omastar and Omanite. I just like Kabuto and Kabutops more. It feels like so rare. Every time I see a speedrun or something, everybody always picks the Helix fossil, and I know there's a meme around it, but... I don't know. Guys, next week. 1 week. Next Monday. Sparking Zero. Are you guys ready? I'm not. Well, we know that if this thing's stats are similar, then this thing is slow as fuck. Tanky. I don't think my Lapras was tanky, does it? Let me look at my Lapras. Let's see. Yeah, it's different. Oh, no, that's physical. No. That's a physical move. Yeah. No, it is. It absolutely is. Oh, I'm gonna surf this thing. Yeah. Thing. Caper. If it gets hit with something, it's just dead. I mean, I'm gonna stick with it because I had it on my first rando attempt, but it's not that good. Also, when I talk about sickness, my heartburn or acid reflux is so fucking bad, guys. It is so bad. It hurts. It's not pleasant. But it's alright. Chad. What a name. I feel like every time I hear someone with the name Chad, I always think of like some kind of like frat kid's name. I feel like frat people have that name pretty frequently. There's grass, below. Wait, is this a different route? Sure, man. I'm not touching the Safari Zone in this game. Yo, hello. How you doing? Thanks for the follow. Oh boy. Sure. Is it quiet? Or is it just... I can move my mic closer. That's probably better, right? How you do? 1 minute. Be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Mudkip. Karate chop, I guess. Sorry if I sound kind of... how would you say? Monotone today, but I'm kind of... I feel kind of sick-ish. Feels like my energy was, like, kind of sapped a little bit. I can't believe I called this yesterday. I was like, dude, I have so many plates. If I can get an Arceus, that'd be so sick, and the fucking Sudowoodo was the Arceus. But, if you look at the plates I have... Well, I'll look at it after battle. I forgot that abilities are randomized. And it doesn't have the plate. Oh, well, thank you. It's nice of you to say. I never get compliments, like, ever. Well, I tried to grind Skyrim modded, and I was trying to fix... Okay, I want to tell chat about this, okay? I wish I could stream Skyrim, but I have too many mods. And some of those mods use body setup. And these bodies that you need for mods, let's just say you cannot take the clothes off the NPCs, and it would not be stream safe. You can't do it. I mean, I could fix it. I could. But the problem with that is my mod list is over 200 mods. Asking me to install and reinstall a mod is just too insane. That is a big ask. That will break everything. And I am so ass with Skyrim mods. But yesterday, I wanted a little bit more immersion. And so I was looking at mods to kind of increase immersion. And there was this mod for footprints, but because I play a female, there are some armor sets that have high heels, and I saw an add-on, because initially I just wanted the regular footprints. But there was an add-on I saw for that, and I thought to myself, like, wow, that would actually even add more immersion for specific armor sets. So I was trying to install it, and I swear to God, look, I know some mods are made by people from other countries, but it was like I was trying to decipher fucking hieroglyphics. I could not, for the life of me, understand the broken English. And setting up this footprint mod, I'm not kidding, took me over 7 hours yesterday. 7 fucking hours to set that up. Absolutely mental. Well, so, like, I've seen other mods that can add, like a heel sound, right, to certain shoes that you can do. But the best way I can describe it is if you go into I don't know if you would call it a script editor, but that's what I think Skyrim Special Edition Edit is. You go into that tool, and then you look at an armor file, and then you can direct it to use another sound file, or I guess a footprint file. So it's just something that you can attach to one of those files to make it work. Thing is, I've been wanting to... With Skyrim, it's one of those games that I like playing it on. It's like Minecraft, right? I have this urge to just play it sometimes, and I'll play it for a little bit, but then I'll just stop. Because then I realize, well, there's not really much to the game. But the problem I have with Skyrim, and I've been streaming Minecraft, but I have a lot of goals in mind this time. But with Skyrim, I've had a lot of different playthroughs where I said to myself, I want to finish everything. I want to be able to do all the main quest stuff, do all the guild stuff, do all the fetch quests, which I just console command everything, because I'm sick and tired of getting mammoth tusks for the 300th time. And every time I get a playthrough, and I get like half of that done, something inexplicably happens to my computer where it either dies and I have to replace something, or hard drive problems, and I was never able to finish what I wanted to do. Also, I'm sorry I'm not playing. I can play and talk. I don't know why I'm not doing that. And I wanted to make a playthrough where I finally just finished the game. It's definitely the case where everybody says it's a good game, but that's not... It's the same with Oblivion. I feel the same way about Oblivion as I do Skyrim. The difference with Oblivion, though, is that it's funny in how bad it is. That's why people like Oblivion. It's so buggy that its bugs are entertaining. That's how broken it is. Skyrim, on the other hand, is broken in a lot of ways, but in an infuriating kind of way. If you don't want to play a game that you're going to have to troubleshoot and fix, then you don't want to play Skyrim. Skyrim, honestly, is not a good game if you do not mod it. And even then, it's mediocre. I think mods to fix a lot of the problems are just downright mandatory. Otherwise, you're not even going to enjoy it. Like, the main quest itself is probably the buggiest thing, in my experience. I've had instances where, just talking about some random bugs, like in the Thieves Guild, toward the end. I'm not going to spoil it in case you do want to try it. But the NPC... So the game works off scripts. And so you need an NPC to stand in a specific spot to initiate dialogue. But some instances can happen where that said NPC doesn't follow you, or goes the opposite direction he's supposed to go, or he just doesn't talk, or he's stuck. That's the kind of shit that can happen in that game that breaks it. If the actor doesn't go to the location they're supposed to, it breaks the game. So you'll have to use console commands to, for instance, you'd go NPC player.placeAtMe, and then you'd get the code for the NPC, and you'd have to drag him to you. Repeatedly, you'll have to deal with stuff like that. Is that my second lucky egg? Yeah. And like the minute I saw Starfield, and even I don't like Fallout. My brother loves Fallout. I hate games that are set in like dystopian or that are all just snow or just destroyed ruins, because I feel like that's just lazy. I don't like that kind of environment. I'm big on environments in games. My favorite game? Easily the original Resident Evil 3. It's not even a contest. But that's why my most hated game is the remake of RE3, and it really infuriates me how much people defend that game, even though it's actually really dog shit, and people on a technical level don't understand why it's dog shit. I feel the same way about Resident Evil 3 Remake as I do Metal Gear Solid 5. They're both really ass games, and it's wild that people defend them. They're not good games. I'm not going to say I'm the hugest Metal Gear fan, though. But certainly, I know enough. I've seen the story enough times to where this is where I get berries, right? To the sick mill tanks. Yeah. Most of the I'm gonna be playing Sparking Zero next week, the 7th. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan, although the more modern shit, I'm not really into. I watched Super. I'm going to watch Daima only because Toriyama passed away and he worked on it. And so initially I was going to skip it, but I want to kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's the least I could do. I heard he worked on it. He died. I want to watch it. But the problem is that I have is I rarely buy new games. Like, if I didn't stream like I am right now, most of the stuff I'd be playing is just retro stuff that I've already played. Like, for instance, right now, actually, I'm working on a playthrough of Parasite Eve 2 and Ocarina of Time, of which I've never played either. But I want to play new games for the stream to experience. And there's a couple games I have a checklist of in my head of, like, I never played this game as a kid. I should probably check the series out. Although it was the same with Majora's Mask, even, because I had played Majora's Mask, but I had never finished it, and I recently did. I don't know how many of these I need to give. I don't have an Oranberry. Alright, we'll have to come back here. Let me move the cursor off. Like... Oh, I already fought that person. Yeah, but what I try and do is I do a lot of variety on my streams. I have a YouTube channel too, but I try and I want to split up some of the content so that it's not just all the same on both. And there is unique content, but oh, you're a Harry Potter fan? No, it's fine. Do you mind if I always ask these questions. First of all, you don't have to answer any of these, but just for, be nice. Where are you from? Because I am curious. That's more about time slot things. And then secondly, do you have any pronouns if you do any of that kind of thing? If you don't, that's fine, but if you do, I would like to know. Oh, you're from Russia? Okay. Alright. That's cool. Are you using a VPN right now? Like, do you live in Russia right now, or are you abroad? I guess is what I'm asking. Because I thought I heard recently that they are trying to go after, like, internet stuff in Russia, so... Oh, okay. Oh, come on, Spore! This game really had to... Oh, wake up! I heard they're gonna ban Discord soon in your country. So... they're gonna make it really hard for people to communicate. I don't want to assume a perspective, but I am curious because legitimately you're the first Russian person I've ever met in my entire life. And so I feel like this is a good question to ask, but and I don't know enough about the subject, let me be clear. Do you trust what your government's doing? Like, I mean, how do I phrase this? Do you like your government? This is what I'm asking. I'm just curious. I want to hear your perspective on it. I guess a better question would be... I mean, I don't know. Bro, I still can't wake up. Oh, I see. You know, people say to Russians sometimes just leave, but it's really not that easy. It really isn't. Especially if you have a family, like... That's not really easy to just leave. And they've probably made it really hard to just leave. I want to be clear. I'm no fan of some of the stuff my government does sometimes. It's not like I'm one-sided. I definitely have my issues with the government a lot of the time, regardless of what party it is. That's why I don't really adhere to any political team. Although I lean certain ways on certain issues, I'm not. I think that, I mean, aside from the war going on right now, here's one of my concerns, okay? First of all, I don't want people to die at all. Doesn't matter who it is. I don't want anybody to die. And so I worry about the Russian men and women, everybody, who are going to be forced into a meat grinder because some guy wants to get more land. Which... my thing is, as well, is like, Putin has so much land in Russia already. From what I know of your country, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, a lot of your city's development is, like, up to the Urals and then the border countries south toward China and the other stand countries, right? Like, but you guys have got so much, I mean, you've got, like, Siberia, and you've got, I mean, I'm not saying those aren't harsh environments, but you guys have got a lot of room. I don't know. I'm just worried for everybody, I'll be honest. I just want people to stop fighting. But I think that's too far gone at this point. And another thing that also kind of upsets me is I know that Moscow hoards all of the wealth. Like the elites, the the suits, the oligarchs, I guess, hold all your guys' wealth while you guys have to suffer for some guy's stupid bullshit, and it's awful. It's terrible. I mean, our country suffers all the time from bad policy decision, but I couldn't imagine it being over a fucking war nobody wanted. Like, I'm giving my perspective on it. It's very easy for the West and other countries to want, because the only way I think, in my opinion, the only way I see this war ending, because I don't think Ukraine is going to listen to whatever Trump says. They don't give a shit about what Trump says. I don't like Trump either. I'm certainly not going to support him. I'm not going to go after people in my chat, though, that do. I'm just saying myself, I'm not doing that. But the only way a victory will come about that I can see, because, look, as strong as Ukraine is, I don't think the West will give them weapons to survive. It's a fucking mess. And I feel bad because when the West says shit like, oh, well, the only way to win is to destroy Russian economy. But then I'm like, you do realize, though, that that will put millions of people out of food and jobs. Like, it's not a good thing that you're saying there. That's my thing, is that the rhetoric being used is so uninsightful that it's just, it's just, I don't know. It's insane. If it were up to me, which is, you know, I would hope that Putin just walks away, walks out, gives the Ukrainians back the land, and then that's the end of it. And then nobody has to die anymore. And what I would say, and I know some Ukrainians. Okay? I've spoken to some before. They want independence. They want self-determination. I don't understand. Yeah. I don't understand why. I don't understand why Russia is so hell-bent on taking them back when Ukrainians want no part of it. Like, what is Putin's end goal here? Because if it's not malicious. Because as far as I can tell, if you know anything about history, assimilating a group of people into your country that don't like you isn't going to go over well. It's just going to cause internal problems. Yeah, I mean, and that's the reality, right? Is he is an imperialist. He's evil. Let's just be honest. He's evil. He's a murderer. I'm not saying the U.S. hasn't done terrible shit and other countries haven't. Ooh, I'm tempted to get that right here. But I definitely have a human consideration that it's like, what? And look, I'm not saying that people didn't support Putin and their lack of political care got him in power. But at the same time, what are the West expecting to happen? What are they expecting the average citizen to do? if the people can have a somewhat quiet life, if they can evade anything and avoid any kind of detection, then certainly wouldn't a person rather just try to get out rather than speak up? And then, because I understand people, right? The average person is not going to put their life up to speak out against something. I don't think there's a lot an average Russian can do, and I don't think many are willing to risk that. I guess is what I'm saying. And I think, and I'm just being an observer, but I don't think your country was ever really democratic. I mean, maybe there was like a brief week, but it got turned into basically a corporate democracy where, you know, the elite. I don't know the terms. I'm tired. But it just turned into the oligarchs running the corporations, which, you know, integration of corporation into state, fascism, but I don't want to use like a move on this because I'm worried I'll kill it. But this catch rate is not going to be good until I damage it. I might need to switch. Like, Surf will kill this. I'm confident. I don't know. My whole thing is I just feel bad for the civilians. Obviously, Ukraine was attacked first, and they are defending themselves. But at the same time, I don't want the Russian civilians to be tortured because Stalin 2.0 wants to prove a point. Like, what military might is Russia talking about? They have sank your guys' economy into the dirt. They are wasting your guys' resources. And they're only slowly taking land incrementally. This is not good. You know, Putin talking about taking Ukraine in 3 days. It's been 2 fucking years. He needs to just stop. He ain't gonna stop, but he needs to. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's probably some of those elements. There's a lot of those elements, but he's more of I think he wants more of a monarchy than he... Well, maybe not religion. I don't think he's religious at all. I'm not religious, but... I don't know, I mean, just a dictatorship, I guess. That's really what it is. I don't know why I'm being hard with my words, but... Like, I'm not someone who just, like, either, like, I don't think democracy in the U.S. is the best. Like, obviously, I like a lot of the stuff from democracy, but I have critiques about certain things. And I can see a future where if we don't... We need to look for a new system. I feel like and I'm talking about economics. Like, people in my country are not like the rich people that, you know, that everybody thinks we are. My family's very poor. Now, I don't think that compares to what, you know, you guys would make or get paid. But, you know, we're not the American dream country that everybody thinks we are. We definitely have a good military, but we're not, we're not in, no country is invincible. I mean, right now, the South are dealing with really bad flooding because of a hurricane. And I wish the response to it would have been so much better. And the thing about the Crimea thing is, as well, is he could have just stopped. Because the world largely didn't give a shit after that. Which was wrong, but the world just didn't care. For some reason, they just didn't care. They just let it go, and it's surprising. It feels really like that ability is dog shit. It's really a case of, no, I live in the north. I mean, where I live, we're not hit by hurricanes. Like, it's extremely rare. But it's just rain. So a hurricane is like a giant storm in the water, in the ocean. And it'll come on land. A tornado is produced usually by regular clouds. I mean, hurricanes are produced. Whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, they really bought into his game of, it's appeasement. That's what it is. Also, this move out is actually fucking crazy. It's just Chamberlain shit. That's why when people that, talk about Trump, I'm sure he'll figure out how to... It's like, how is he going to get Zelensky to stop the war? And I don't think they should. Nobody's going to listen to Trump. People are out of their mind if they think Trump is somehow going to magically stop a war. He says he'll get it sorted, but he won't. He can't. No one is going to listen to him. Nobody. He tries the whole shit where he's a big, strong guy, but he really... No one's going to listen to him. The EU will tell him to stuff it. And that's what they'll say to him. They'll tell him to fuck off. That's what the response will be. He's not going to look strong like he thinks he does. Look, I have problems with both candidates. I don't have a political affiliation. I don't. I really don't. But when Trump talks about, and JD Vance talks about being friends with Russia, it's like you do realize what you're saying, right? Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Trump just wants to be a dictator too. He has such an ego, and again, I'm not saying that the left wing won't do bad shit too, because they will. Yeah, that's what I think. Like, the only way I can see Trump doing anything, like, here's what I can see happen. Aside from the AIDS stopping, okay? I can see Trump trying to do stupid shit where he'll be like, oh, well, we'll sanction Ukraine or something if they don't stop the war. Which will be very unpopular. But other than that, I don't see how Trump could even... Like, what would Trump's weapons be? Like, sanctions? Like, what, like, giving... Would he try to give Putin shit? I don't know. But part of the problem and why I don't like Trump is he never just fucking tells you what he's doing. I mean, there are definitely other reasons I don't like him. First of all, I don't think he's pro-LGBT. That's a start. Also, he's supporting dictatorial regimes, number 2. But he's also a big loudmouth. Talks constantly propping up his ego, and he'll never talk about any of his policy. Again, I'm not going to attack Trump supporters. My mother is, unfortunately, one. And I've tried to talk her out of it. But you know, there's not much you can say. I don't think he'll... I think he'll do what he says he's going to try and do. And then it's going to backfire, and then his supporters will not give a fuck about it. Because, in reality, his supporters don't care about it. The only thing that people like my mother would say is, oh, well, they're not giving aid anymore. And that's a good thing, which is fucking insane. But, you know, I don't know. And again, I want the war to end too. I do. I dearly do. And I worry that what happens when a loss, if it does happen in your country, what will result in that? Everybody can say, well, I want, obviously, Putin to be overthrown. Yeah, it's the same here. It's the same here with the ultra-nationalists. They're the same fucking way. It's the same way. I don't mind people loving their country. If Russians, you know, didn't have a history of... And again, I'm speaking of Russian history, and I'm not saying the U.S. didn't have it too. The U.S. had imperialism too. But the difference is, I think every country has had some conversation on some level about it. But Russia just gets swept aside like, nope, they were never an empire. Nope, they didn't oppress a large portion of their Soviet Union and the Russian Empire in World War I. You know, it's throughout their history. It's like... I'm just thinking if I was somehow a Russian president, I'd be like, yeah, the Ukrainians, you know, we have history together. We're similar in some ways, but not all. Let them be. Let them be. Just let them go. Let them go. If you call them family, let them go. They're trying to hold their people hostage. And I'll be clear, too, about this. I'm glad that Ukraine has a leader that's defending their country, but I also am very skeptical of Zelensky as a person himself. You know, I want Ukraine to take their land back. Hopefully as peacefully as possible. But I'm not convinced that he's this sunshine and rainbows. I don't know. I'm happy that, again, I want them to win, and well, I just want the fighting to stop. I mean, that's all I'm trying to say. Strength. I'm bisexual, but the thing with me is it's very complicated. For me, it's about femininity. how feminine is somebody? And that could include biological men. I'm not into, like, hyper masculine. I don't like masculine. Not really attracted to it, per se. But I've decided that I would like the possibility of having a kid. And so that's why I would only date a woman that has an ability to birth of children. And I'm saying this as someone who supports the LGBT. I would so much want a day where, you know, people can get surgeries to be able to have children. Because I feel bad for trans people. I do. Stop calling me Chris! Go into the bag. But yeah, I want a kid. The possibility to have a kid. And again, adoption is really important. Adoption is a good thing when it's run properly, of course, and they don't give kids off to abusive people. Like that happened to my cousin when he was a kid. But if I have a kid, it just has to be my genetic kid. It has to be. I know some people might think it's just how I feel. It has to have my own genetics. It has to. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just how it is for me. I worry about having a friend, you know, taking care of a kid that's not genetically connected to me. I feel like I would be distant. I feel like I wouldn't be as nice, and it'd be a lot harder, I think, to get to know that kid. It's just a worry I have. So I would much rather it if I was a percentage of my kid's genetic makeup. They were connected to me in some way. Okay, so that is the park thing, so I'm not going to go there. Alright, we've gone in most of the places, so we could do Lighthouse right now, or we could go back. I think I'll do the Lighthouse. Yeah. That is true. Yeah, sir, I think, yeah. They will... The mother will get, the egg, and then she'll bear the child, and then... I think they'll say deliver. That the baby will be delivered, and... through birth. For me, I'm just... I would call myself a femboy, but the problem I have with the term is it's really sexual. And that's, to me, that disgusts me. The word, that word should not be like that. But unfortunately, whenever you see someone on a Reddit using that word, I've been on these femboy Reddits. And they have to be adults. They are adults. They're adults. But they're just fucking weird. They're weird. They over-sexualize femininity. And that's why I don't like the term. It's just tainted with fetishism. It's fucking weird. I'm a man that will dress feminine sometimes because I like pretty things. That's it. I've thought about getting gender surgery as a kid, or not a kid, but I mean a young adult. I mean like 19, 20. But and I'm sure it's worse in your country, but here, they're in like what they would call left states, left-leaning states like California. You could do it, and a lot of people would be okay with it. But if you do it in the state I'm from, a lot of people will harass you for it. It's very real. I'll give Chad a story once, okay? So I have this friend. Yeah, for example, like Texas. I don't live in Texas, but yes. I had a friend who was bi. No, I'm thinking of someone else. She was gay, sorry. She was gay, not bi. She was a lesbian. But I was friends with her, and there would be times where she would practice makeup. And because we were friends, I said, fuck it. You want to practice on me? You can. And she got me to dress up once. She bought me some clothes. I didn't do it myself, but she did that for me. And she was wanting me to try it someday just to see. And so I did. And then I went outside. And I was mistaken for a woman. By 3 guys. What do you think those 3 guys did? Now, I'm a tough man. Okay, I'm not afraid to fire back at people. I've gotten into fights before. I don't like fighting, but I will do it if I need to defend myself. I got catcalled. And I was pissed off. That's a very real thing. Men in groups will do shit like that. And I was one of those people that kind of didn't believe it. I didn't really believe it. I didn't think it was as big of a thing as it was. But no, it's happened to me more than once. It's a big fucking problem. And I feel bad for women. I do. It's fucking insane. Women can't go outside without feeling fear. Like, I believe them. I fucking believe them. I believe them. I tried a pair of jeans once, and they had, like, women's jeans are different than men's jeans. Because some women's jeans don't have pockets. They don't have pockets. Normal pockets. For men's jeans, they'll have... And I think pockets are fucking necessary in any pair of jeans. They're on the side, right? Normally? Or the front... front. You know. Front side. But no. These women's jeans had pockets, if you want to call them that, on the ass cheek. And I immediately recognized what this was. For what it was. It's some pervert designed some jeans with pockets on the ass so they could see women stick their hands on the back of their ass. And once you see shit like that, it's just eye-opening. It's like, bro, what the fuck is this? What is wrong with these people? Like, I don't get it. Like, why the fuck can't people just stop being creeps? Stop harassing women. Stop this shit. And you'll get some wild takes about it, too. From people. I actually heard someone once... I went inside a store once, and there was an argument between... a woman and a man. And this man was causing a scene. And I didn't catch all of it, but what I did hear at the end, and I did see him get his ass escorted out, so he's probably getting arrested. But I heard him say, if she didn't want that to happen, she shouldn't have dressed that way. Fucking vile. Shit is so vile. I don't get it, man. And people say that shit isn't real. It fucking is. It absolutely is. So garbage. Catch this too. I know this isn't very effective. I just want to see. I need to do... Okay. Flinches, really? But yeah, I try to be very welcoming toward women. I try to make sure that they feel in a good environment. Like, I've also seen so many instances of people, when something bad happens, people just stand around. They'll just fucking watch something unfold. And I'm like, what are you doing? Do something. Which I think is only worse in your country, but... I don't know. I have to pull out Rock Smash, I think. I'm gonna be honest, I think... I don't know, I guess what I was saying, though, is I'm worried that if, in such an event with the war, I'm worried that a collapse will come, and then your people will just trade one asshole for another. I don't know. I also can see a vision, like, I can see a scenario, too, in which that collapse happens, and then China just takes advantage of it. Like, if your country decided to collapse into fragments... Why wouldn't China just invade? And just steal some more land? Now, I mean, yeah, they do have some, you know, claims on Russian land and toward, Harbin. That's the city I remember in northeast China. I don't remember a ton of others, but China, I mean, and this is what I find confusing. Why Putin trusts China so much? You know, they talk about this special friendship, but China has fought a war against you guys, too. And you know, during the Cold War period, there were times when they would move away from Russia, they would move closer to Russia, they'd move away from it. China flip-flops a lot. I mean, for God's sakes. Wait, does this thing have... What ability does this thing have? I mean, I feel the same towards, like... You know, before this thing kicked off, I'm puzzled why Russia even spoke to North Korea. Like, all throughout Russia's history, it's always wanted to position itself as a European country. I feel. It wants to sit at the European table. But it never wants to just be normal. It never just wants to... It always has to be the icon. It can't be on a team unless it's the leader. Now, I'm not saying the U.S. doesn't... probably wouldn't have that opinion too, but... Sorry. Alright, I'm back. Sorry. Mom just gave me a bag of food. Hold on. Alright, I need to teach Rock Smash. For now, I'll just teach it to Rhyperior. Do I want to teach this to it? Am I going to use Rhyperior? No, actually no. Its defense is horrible. No. If I decide to, I guess I'll just grow out. I am eating Arby's. Not because I like it, but because we don't have a lot of money. I don't know what it's like to seek dating men. I don't know what it's like. I don't know how much different it is. Because I've never done it myself. I kind of want to teach this. Let's stab Gust. What would I get rid of? I feel like Rock Throw is actually really good. I'll pass on it. I don't think it's powerful enough to justify. Hold on. Cat is being a cat. I'll get like a couple more encounters and then I'll repel. So what are your favorite games? What games do you play? I mean, you said D&D, I think, and Hogwarts. I'm struggling to remember the name. Harry Potter. Do you play any console games? I actually discovered that apparently Smurgle is a dog, and I just never clicked with me. Apparently, I figured that out kind of recently. Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I appreciate it. Gives me some insights. I play almost exclusively on PC now. I might get a Switch too if it comes out, so I can play something, but... If Stellar Blade comes to PC, I'm gonna play it. It'd be insane not to. Ether? Pretty good. So do you have any idea how you're gonna... I mean, you say save up money, but... How are you actually planning to leave? I've never played Odyssey. Unless you mean, like, I mean, I've heard of, like, Abe's Odyssey, but... Yeah, GTA 5. When GTA 6 come out, I'll play it. I'm kind of pissed that they're gonna do the same with 5 and release it first on console. Just to me, that's fucking insane. To me, that's dumb. It's like you're only gonna make it harder to be a better port. I don't know why I didn't just go for rock through there. Wow. I always make a female character in video games that I play. And I remember when I made a female character on GTA, my brother was like, "Why did you make a female character?" He was like really weirded out that I made a female character. I remember him giving me shit for that. But yeah, I play, well, I used to have it on console. I don't play on console anymore, but when I got on PC, I had grinded for, at the time I think was the most expensive car. It was like $1 million. By doing this mission called Pot Shot over and over again. That's how it used to be. And somehow my car just got removed. I don't know if a hacker caused it or something, but... Oh, good lord. Oh, it's the Rayquaza again. It sucks because I have a lot of health problems. I've never worked in my entire life, and I'm 29 years old. I'm a couple months away from 30, and I can't work. And I feel so bad for my mother. Oh god, we're just gonna keep getting these. I will catch it if it's shiny. No, not really. I'm gonna repel. School was also really annoying for me. So, I never had good scores, even though I totally could have. I was just dealing with depression, and that fucking ruined everything for me. So, I'm not likely to get accepted into any college because of that. Was that Noctowl? Also, my cat's jumping on stuff they shouldn't. Classic. I'm just gonna teach Strength the Rhyperior too. I would rather not come back here. Oh, I don't have Strength. Oh shit, was I supposed to get that at Olivine? Fuck me. I think I left that. Oh well. I'll have to come back here. I might have been able to get that item, but I just want to leave. For now. Kind of annoyed that I'm stuck here. To be honest, I just want to get out of this burnt tower. You know, we were talking about, feminine stuff earlier, but I've spent so much fucking money on makeup and stuff, feminine clothing. It's actually kind of insane. I spend more money on that than I do games. I need help. I need help. Okay, so next we can fight Morty. However, let's save. Yeah. I'm not very good at it, but it's for practice, yeah. By the way, I want to clarify, when I talked about that story with a friend earlier, that was before I started really doing it. So, I just kind of do it myself. The problem is I have a hard time, like, with my right hand, I can do it pretty okay, but the left side I can't really do well, because I don't have the dexterity, so it's kind of hard for me. Like, I might do some normal stuff that isn't too hard, like eyebrows and stuff. Maybe the lips, but nothing really more than that. Like, if it requires me to draw something, I probably won't do it that often, because it's hard. Just click needle arm. Just keep clicking needle arm. By the way, if you don't mind my asking, because I know you said you own a shop, how old are you currently? Are you old like me? Or are you younger? Man, you're 24 and you have a shop? Fuck me. Man, I feel like time has just passed so quickly and I'm behind. I'm 29 and oh my god, man. Well, maybe someday I can get paid to stream. That'd be cool. That would help me a lot. Like, a lot. But... Yo, you know it'd be cool if I could get a fire move on the Charmeleon. Whatever, I'll just do this. There, it's a fortress. It's a 3-shot. Oh! Why? Why the teeter dance? Oh, okay. So you just inherited a business? Ho-oh. More like oh no. I'm funny. I could have clicked something else, but... Oh, okay. So... Well... I mean, I get it. Oh, God. Oh, Psycho Cut. Alright. How about we don't miss Rock Slide? So we're gonna use another move. I'm hoping I can hit 100 followers for streaming by the end of the year, which actually is looking possible. I've had a ton. In the last 3 months, for my small channel, I've had a lot of growth. A lot. By my standards, a lot. I would like to make this a way to get money, because I want to help my family out some way. My mom... Yes and no. My mom is religious, but she's also religious in the way where she doesn't care. She just doesn't think it's natural. But my mom is supportive. My father, on the other hand, is such an asshole. I do not like my dad really that much in terms of getting along. I respect him a lot because he works hard. And he can be nice, but he's really mean. And I don't go to him with anything. I don't talk to him. I try and avoid him. And he knows that, but that's just how bad the relationship, the friendship, I mean, just to be clear for people that don't know what I mean, the friendship that we have is non-existent. Even though we live in the same house. So, I'm sure he knows. He's seen the clothes, but does he know I'm bi? He probably just thinks it's a weird thing. He would think it would probably be a weird thing. I don't think he thinks I'm any of that. But I've asked my mom not to tell him. So. I've told my brothers. Yeah. Wobbuffet. Oh, this is Psychic. Brooks, what are you doing? This is Psychic type. Wait. I don't know time matchups, I never will. It's alright. Everybody knows that about me by now. I want... level up. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna look on Amazon. How much money have I spent on Logan this month? $300. Also, a package just came in the mail, so give me 1 minute. I'm gonna run outside and go get it really quick. Just wait 2 minutes. It won't even take 2 minutes. I'm just gonna I'm gonna put a second hoodie on because it's kind of cold. I'm gonna put another hoodie on over my hoodie. I'm gonna go outside and grab it really quick. Won't take long. Be right back. Alright, I'm back. So I think hold on. Step on something outside. Oh. Plug in my keyboard again. I have to unplug my keyboard, otherwise my cats will jump all over it. Alright. Sorry about that. Anyway. Aura sphere. My mic closer. Let me see. Speaking of clothing, this is actually a set of earrings, actually. Shit, I dropped something. Oh, you mean for VTubing? You know, I've actually thought about it sometime. Came in a little bag. Alright. Sorry. Okay, now I need to save state because I don't remember where the light is. Okay, well. That happens when you move away. I've seen some that they sell on Etsy that go for pretty cheap, but the problem I have is I don't know if that's like stolen or what the deal is. I don't know if you need any specific technology either to set it up. I'd have to look into it, but I've definitely thought about it, yeah. It can be, depending on the quality of the model. I know it can be very expensive. Extremely. Definitely out of my range. I could never afford one that's, like, really expensive. We just missed the seed flare. Okay, this thing has got to have... What is it? What's the thing that makes it easier to miss? I mean, it could be holding a bright powder, too. Oh, I'm dead. I'm burned. I'll have to switch out. I'll predict a heat wave. Isn't Grudge a vanilla move it gets? Yeah, but I'm saying again, just in case you miss any of the stuff that I stream, I have a YouTube channel, link below. And I almost always... I mean, there is exclusive stuff on there, but I'm telling you, because sometimes, especially with these Pokemon VODs, there's a chance Twitch mutes songs. And so if you want... I don't really edit most of my stuff, so it'd be extremely rare if I edited anything. But... thanks for the sub as well. Appreciate it. No, I think this is something good to talk about. You know, back when I was a kid, when I was religious, I'm not anymore. Although I don't bother people that are religious. Although the only time I get mad about religion is if somebody is trying to shove it down my throat. Then I get upset. Or they try to assert a fact as authoritative. But I used to be religious, obviously, because the whole town is religious, and I wasn't really convinced of it. That's the main reason why I ended up leaving and the other stuff. But I was in, let me tell you, and this might sound incredible. I was so sure I was straight as a kid. Like, I can't even tell you. For a second, it never crossed my mind that I was bisexual. Never. Not once. It just did. It for some reason, I just repressed it so well that it just, I don't know. But then when I was about 19, about there, I was like, well, let me just test. Let me just see. And yeah, sure enough, I was like, oh, well, that's not that bad. And then it just like, oh, well, that explains a couple things. Thing with me is I've never been like hyper sexual, I guess. I've never been concerned with any of that. Like, even now, I'm not like super concerned that I, you know, when I was in high school, I didn't care about getting dates. I just didn't care. You know, it was never, and it never was a concern for me. It's got to be a held item, I forgot. But yeah. I just think it's interesting how well you can suppress something. So, I am most likely falling after this battle. I keep forgetting to switch. Now Salamence is like almost probably gonna get to mid 27. I'm gonna speak as someone though that is bi. This is something that has always bothered me. I've met gay people and bi people, and by met I mean conversed with, talked. I don't mean in that kind of way. And I've never understood where this fake voice comes from. I can understand a trans person wanting to change their voice, but I feel like I'm gonna piss some people off by saying this. I feel like there's some gay people that are so fake and extra with their voice to an unnecessary degree that it's really annoying. Like, I don't know. There's something about the fake accent that just pisses me off. I'm gonna be dead ass for a second. Okay, means dead honest. If I were to date a trans person, I wouldn't even care if they had a man voice. I wouldn't care. Because it's more... I don't know. Like, some of the voice therapy does work. But sometimes, unfortunately for them, it doesn't. And I'm not being mean. It's a reality. Sometimes it's not that easy. But I would become... If they were talking a complete man voice, I wouldn't care. It wouldn't really bother me. There's just something about... Like, with gay people. Not all, but the ones I'm talking about. The whole fake aspect of it has always bothered me. It's like, you don't need all that. You don't need all that. Come on. Like, I don't even know where it comes from. It's like they just... I'm talking about... I think they refer to those types of people as extra, but... The extraness isn't needed. I mean, at the end of the day, people do you. I mean, you know, they're people. They can do whatever they want, but as long as it's legal. I don't know. I'm just thinking, if I was talking to a gay person and they started putting on a fake voice, it would annoy the fuck out of me. I would get so annoyed. I don't know. And they always get this Valley Girl shit going on, and it's like, come on. Come on now. It's completely unnecessary. Okay, well, this thing isn't gonna have Poison Point. So we're fine, right? Or Effect Spore. Oh god, well, here's the Paralysis coming. Here's the status move. That did a shit ton of damage. Strongest Quillfish ever seen. You know what? I'm gonna fall on purpose so I can go heal. We're about to do a gym leader, and I don't want to be low HP. Probably gonna buy some items. Yeah, I'm sure there's an instance of that. I don't think it's a lot, but I'm sure there is a couple instances where someone might do that. Change your identity, kind of. Like, as a bi person, here's something that I personally get disgusted by. That annoys the fuck out of me, is drag shows. Because I've heard many of them say it's like a comedic act. But I don't find it all too funny. I don't find that funny. Like, I feel like it's just so mean to trans people. Like, obviously the clothing isn't everything on its own, but it comes across as like mocking. It's just like, I don't know, just something awful about it. And that isn't even getting to the very obvious wrong that is drag kids. That shit I'm absolutely disgusted with. That shit should not be happening. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if people disagree with me, but that should not be happening. I don't think kids should dress up like that. I'm sorry. I think that's completely rational to be against drag shows for people that aren't adults. I mean, yeah. It's just mocking women too. I hate it. I don't like it. Never been a fan of it. Now again, I don't care if a man obviously dresses in drag. I don't care. But turning it into like a giant comedy is like, I'm no fan of that. I don't know. That's probably enough. I'll get Super Repels next time. Although I will say, a lot of them do put a lot of effort into their costumes, though. I will say that, at least. I don't think it's easy to do all that makeup and shit, but I don't know. Alright, we got a gym leader. For the gym, I guess I will just lead Salamence. Alright, let's go. This is part flying. Rock throw is the best move, I think. Yeah, you know, I've thought about that too. I thought, like, but surely some of them. You would think some of them surely do it themselves. But regardless of who's doing it, someone, if it's the artist, they're still doing a lot of effort. Good flinch. Okay, they're gonna go for... Okay, there's the hyper. This thing is tanky. That's good. Please get another flinch. We're gonna probably need 3. Or this could be a range. Okay, it's a range. Just got lucky on 2 ranges. Another water type. Alright. Last Pokemon, what is it? I have Rock Throw. Yeah, sure. Feel free to ask. Ooh. That's not Super Fang, it's Hyper. Oh, that, okay, never mind. My dad does. A couple. My dad was a Marine. So he's... I mean, I like guns, don't get me wrong. I'm very pro-gun. I'm not anti-security, but I'm also pro-security, too. But if we're up to me, I think if you want to buy a machine gun assault rifle, you should be able to. I think you should have to go through strict testing, of course. I think people need to be tested more if they're capable of owning a gun. But yeah, my dad owns an assault rifle or an AR, but it's semi-auto. You know, gun culture used to be a lot different back then. Like, people will have you, but like, you'll hear about shootings in America pretty frequently, sadly. And they have been on an increase. But for people here, it's not... Like, people in Europe will put such an emphasis on it, but it's not... To us, it's not, like, it's a big deal in terms of a right. Like, a lot of people will say, yeah, it's a very important thing. But people don't really talk that much about it. Like, most people probably have a gun, but they don't talk about it. They don't go to shooting ranges, really. They don't... It's just a normal thing for people to have a gun. The types, though, that you'll see putting up YouTube content will be the types that are gun aficionados. Most people are not like that. They might have a handgun, they might have a shotgun, they might have an AR that's semi-auto, single shot. Maybe a bow and arrow, but they don't... Most people don't have the like... In this country, you can buy fully automatic guns depending on the year they were made. I think it's before 1969, if they were imported. So, like, World War II era guns. You could, if you're a U.S. citizen, you can buy, like, as an example, an AK-47. A fully automatic AK-47 you could buy. You could. You could buy one. You could own one. Civilian use. But they're very expensive. Extremely expensive, and most people don't care about guns that much to spend the money on a gun like that. Guns after 1969, I think the only way you can get access to those is if you have a gunsmithing license. So if you get a specific license and you're an arms manufacturer, or, you know, you want to get into that business, then I think then you can own those guns. But it's not a common thing for people to own fully automatic guns. Well, the idea behind owning a gun is, like, for instance, if our government became tyrannical, the people could form a militia and arm against the government to restore the Constitution. But the view of that has changed, where, I mean, like, the people on YouTube will talk about that. They'll be like, well, I need a gun against the government. It's not so much people always just, like, when people say they need a gun to be protected against the government, most people are not talking about, like, a minor infraction. Like, oh, the government is charging too many taxes. You know, it's not like it's an extreme thing that every instance is, like, most people are responsible with guns. They're not, people know how to be with that. But that's intruders. So, you know, one would say, well, why isn't a handgun enough, right? But people need to factor in, what do you do when a gang member from, let's say, Mexico gets a hold of a cartel fully automatic with a gang of 4 people? What do you do then? Well, you need an automatic gun, I would think. But the main criticism of gun ownership in this country is usually 2 things. It's either, like, here are some of the criticisms. They'll say, well, Europe is fine and they don't have guns. But, I mean, they do have guns, but it depends. Like, hunting guns and other stuff, but it's very hard to get a gun in that country, in those countries. Where, I think, like, well, not all, but, like, some countries like Switzerland, I think, because they have mandatory conscription, I think they actually give citizens fully automatic guns, but their thing is they don't give out ammo, so that every citizen has a gun in the event something happens. Now, that's the first argument. The second argument would be why you even need one. Why do you need one? But I've described why I think people need guns. And the third reason that you usually hear, and this is probably the one that's most... One of the stronger arguments as of late is that, well, these awful people are hurting children with guns. And that's usually what tips the scale for most people. Now, I have opinions on this, and I will say that, at the very least, I don't care whether or not you like guns. I think schools need to be better protected regardless. I feel like that's just something that is just common sense. But can lead. Train these two. Why do I think security in schools are low? I'd like to think it's just naive that thinking that people won't do horrible things like that. But I have no idea. But regardless, schools need better security. I don't... Obviously, some schools have better security than others, but... Well, I think... And again, I hate this. But I think the murderers just want attention. I think they're evil people that want attention. Either that, or... I mean, they're obviously evil. But it could also be for attention, or... I don't really know. I mean, I think it's just they want attention. They're gonna do something horrendous, and then they think people will remember them, but... people want to forget assholes like that. Well, I will say this, though. I'm not ready for the next 36 days. Because that's when the election happens. That's the night. 36 days. And whether you're in America or not, it's a big event. It's a big deal to the rest of the world. Whether you like it or not. Besides of a lot of things. Now, I'm not registered to vote. No, I'm not registered. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't like any of the candidates. But if I had to pick one to win, probably her. Although I don't like a lot of her policy, but whatever. I really just don't like Trump. So... I'd probably be an independent voter if I chose. Yeah, you have to register to vote. You need identification. You need identification, and they also try to force you to go to jury duty if you